Welcome back to OpenLine, everyone. We are talking about TennCare, breaking down TennCare's block grant proposal. We have with us Mandy Pellegrin, Policy Director for the Sycamore Institute. That's a nonpartisan institute, and you have no position on this proposal. And so we're just getting information on it. We got a lot of information. It's a difficult thing, but it's good to try and break this down. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Birdie. Hello, Birdie?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
My problem is, what is the deal? Why can't they take some of the lottery money and use it for medical care and stop these people from not making doctor's appointments and abusing it and going through the emergency room all the time? I know people that are on it and they never make a doctor's appointment. They abuse it. My son never abused it. He only went when he had to. He's had surgery before. Only when he had to. Like I said, he got SSI when he was 19, found out he'd been mentally challenged, so and tried to it up, and he tried to suffer major depression, bipolar, seizures, this and that. What about these people that get it, run around and are able to work and still get Social Security disability? He was considered 19 of the 6-year-old. All of a sudden, there is, and how.
All right, your phone is breaking up, so I'm going to have to put you on hold. But I get a sense of what you're talking about there. She's questioning, I guess fraud would be what she's saying. You know, people abuse it. Mm-hmm. And then she's asking about the lottery. Mm-hmm. Why can't we use money? She's looking, why can't we do things now that would give the program more money, whether it be fraud or whether it be the lottery. Mm-hmm. You know, I guess, what about that?
I can't speak to too much specifics on what the efforts are around fraud, but I know that there are a lot of efforts around fraud and waste and abuse, and the state has put a lot of effort into that in recent years. On the lottery front, not to get too in the weeds, but the lottery funds can only be used for a very specific purpose. They have to be education related, and specifically post-secondary education. So kind of the way the budget works is we have dedicated funding sources for various things. But, you know, I think I watched the entire legislative debate on this, which, you know, this proposal is coming about because the legislature passed a bill telling the administration to submit this proposal to the federal government. And I think if you were to watch that debate, a lot of the motivation behind this was policymakers that were in support of this bill felt like the state is very efficient at managing its TennCare program, and if we were to get the flexibilities to sort of do away with some of these paperwork requirements and these federal approvals, if we could just move a little faster, have a little more flexibility, we could do more with the same amount of money. And if you were to look at, well, in this case, the same amount or more money, if you were to look at the original bill, it talks about, you know, an openness to adding additional eligibility groups and things like that.
And that's what people want. They want more people covered. And so people that support this are saying this would allow them to cover more people. Is that part of their argument, or are they saying we'll just save money?
No, I mean, much of the argument isn't really about saving money. It's about, you know, I wrote down some of the quotes, improving both access and quality. You know, that was from an op-ed from the bill sponsors just last week. And then, you know, you look at the amendment itself and it talks about enhancing benefits, implementing improvements. It's all about these positive, additive things that we've been producing savings for the federal government. We should be rewarded for that with extra federal dollars, share in those federal savings, and then use those flexibilities and use that new money to do these additive things. Okay. The proposal itself at this time doesn't include any sort of enrollment changes, adding people on, anything like that, but it certainly opens the door for that in the future.
It opens the door for adding people on. Does it open the door for cutting people?
The way it's drafted right now, it does not speak to any sort of changes in eligibility. It does talk about changing enrollment processes. I mean, I think that does make some people a little bit nervous that there could be enrollment changes that maybe make it harder for people to get onto the program or to remain eligible for the program, which could have the effect of affecting enrollment, but there's nothing in it specifically about changing eligibility.
Let's go to Jim. Hello, Jim. June. I'm sorry. June. Go right ahead. Yes, go right ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, I got my thing. I'm on a QMB, which is TennCare's. And so you have to send in just your life story. So today they sent me a paper saying that I had been denied because I made more than I hadn't got the paper with me, but I think it was $1,004 and something. Anyway, and then they said they wouldn't send me none of these programs. I don't know what it meant, like these insurances that advertise, that they'll so forth and on. But that's not the point. I couldn't make over. I was making over 1,200 and something.
Right.
Well. And that's not right. I don't make no more than that. I make 900. I get $857 a month from Social Security. I get a $46 a month retirement thing from our small, and then I get a $37. I used to get it was $37 or $39 a month. It comes to about $941 or around $950. I'll just round it off. So they say I've been denied on account of that. And I'm 86 years old, but they give me a number to call, and the only reason that I'm going to call and even do that because I get $169 on my taxes. And my taxes would be $985, county taxes, house taxes, or whatever you want to call it. And it was $985, but I get $169 from the government. You know how that is.
Right.
On there.
Okay.
And some of the counties puts has got 32 counties in Tennessee, I think. Put that they would do it all the time, but Dixon is not one.
So you live in Dixon. Let me ask you this. Were you on TennCare before? Were you on TennCare?
I've been on TennCare since I was about 73 or 74.
And so now you've been kicked off TennCare?
Yes, they told me that I had been denied because I was making too much money. But the only reason I've got a number to call them, and they said I could go before a judge, a hearing, but I will not go before a judge because I'm not able to get out and run around. But
all right, I'm so sorry. All right, let's talk about this. All right.
And the only reason I'm going to call and tell them is because if I don't straighten that out, I may not get that $169 grant.
Right. Well, I hope you can appeal, and thank you for sharing that. This speaks to, all right, so this is somebody who was just denied. I mean, they've been on it forever, and now they're denied. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the concern
right
here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really great example of, that a lot of Tennesseans rely on TennCare or know somebody that does. I mean, you said 1 in 5 Tennesseans is on TennCare. 60% of the state's children are on TennCare. So this is a very personal issue, and people really rely on the program to kind of get the health care that they need. And if they can't cover those things, then they're in a tough spot, and it makes it hard to get ahead and to afford all the other things that they sort of need in their lives. And it's really complicated. And I think that's why there is a lot of concern.
Would there be an incentive in any way, the way this is written, for them to cut the number of people, to get a lower number of people now before there's a new waiver? Because here we have somebody who says she's been on it for years, and suddenly now she's it doesn't sound to me like she's out earning new money, but suddenly now she's cut. And we've heard that about others. Are they trying to lower the rolls for any reason in advance of a new waiver?
I mean, there's nothing in this particular proposal that would incentivize reducing enrollment. So the way that kind of this funding formula is set up is it adjusts based on the number of people. So it's not just, it's a pool of people that grows and shrinks based on how many people are in that pool, because it's what's called sort of a per capita cap. So it's based on individual level costs, and it grows if people are added to the program, and it shrinks if people come off of the program. So you're held to a different standard based on how many people are on the program. I mean, the incentives to have your enrollment lower are really the same incentives that are today. It's a big piece of the budget. We're trying to balance a budget every year, not me, fortunately, but policymakers are trying to balance that budget. So there's sort of already an incentive in place to keep those costs low, and I'm not sure if this really changes that set of incentives when you're looking purely at the numbers that are on the program.
All right, we have to take a break. Joe and others, hold on the line. If you want to call in, there's the number 615-737-PLUS. 615-737-7587. Take a break. We'll be back right after this.